Liverpool's season has been a fascinating one. And what we're going to do today on this channel is try something a little bit different. We're going to do an in-depth, deep dive into the goings-on at Liverpool Football Club. If you enjoy this style of content, will you please do us a favour? Please like it, please hype it up, and let us know in the comments if you'd like us to try something like this about another topic, another club, or anything that you think would make a good video. Helping me delve deep into the goings-on at Liverpool Football Club this year is the wonderful Arne Oladipo, the man for the job.
Thank you, sir.
It's going to be interesting, this.
Many men could have done this job, but I feel privileged that you've asked me.
Well, mate, I think there's so much to talk about, and there isn't a better person to do it with. Obviously, you're a devoted Liverpool fan, and I am so shocked at the way it's gone. I thought the best thing to do, really, is to start at the top, like the summer. Think about, off the back of winning the league, the summer that was had by Liverpool. It was so impressive. It felt like everything was going well. Liverpool were the best team in the country. They had a couple of the best players in the country, in the world, in fact. And then off the back of it, they went and had a Galactico-like summer. At that point, you must have been over the moon.
Yeah, because that's not what Liverpool do. We create Galacticos, don't we? We don't buy them. And you think of the biggest players that have come out of Liverpool Football Club over the last sort of 10, 15 years, going back to Fernando Torres. He didn't come, I know he came from a good club in Atletico Madrid, but he didn't come as one of the best forwards in the world. Nor did Suarez, nor did Mane, nor did Salah. They then left as that. So when we did the summer signings we did, Florian Wirtz came as a world beater.
Yeah.
Alexander Isak came as a world beater. Ekitike maybe not so, but we bought two world beaters. We bought two players that were undoubtedly world class. Add into a team that won the Premier League. I mean, it was going to be an unstoppable season.
Yeah. Do you know what I think we have to pick up on here? You're right, focusing on the ins. But again, hindsight has taught us this. I wasn't necessarily saying this was such a big deal at the time. But whilst you're acknowledging the players that came in and some of their world-class qualities, Trent Alexander-Arnold left.
Yep.
Darwin Núñez left.
Yep.
Luis Diaz left. At the time, I think you could rationalise each of those departures. They kind of all made sense if you explored them. Luis Diaz, I think you could easily argue, was a little bit of a risk, but Florian Wirtz coming in, Hugo Ekitike coming in, Alexander Isak coming in, you could certainly rationalise.
I can't rationalise Luis Diaz. And
even with the players that came in?
Even with the players that are coming in. And I'm not doing that as a sort of Monday morning quarterback, right? Easily after the event. No. As soon as you watch Luis Diaz week in, week out, and his endeavour, his energy, his passion, and that's kind of what, I know it's a slot team, but that's what Klopp teams were always built about. Like that, just going for it. It might not be the most prettiest, but Luis Diaz would always give you sort of 90 minutes of just energy. And he would chip in with goals. I think he got, 17 in his last season for Liverpool. That's fantastic from a wide forward. I mean, not everyone's going to get Salah numbers. I mean, if you can sort of have Salah numbers, but then have someone that can give you that as well. So I was never happy with Luis Diaz. Obviously, we tried to keep Trent. We tried to keep Trent. He wanted to go. I get it, right? You're going to Real Madrid. So those two were massive for me.
What about Darwin Núñez?
No, I wasn't too upset with Darwin Núñez. At the time, I wasn't upset with Darwin Núñez because obviously no one could foresee what would happen with Diogo Jota. So I almost felt like, okay, we've got a forward, a number 9 there that I would start above Darwin Núñez anyway. And I get it, Darwin Núñez off the bench gave us energy, but I think most Liverpool fans had almost given up on the Darwin Núñez story. Not clinical enough. You couldn't really trust him. Is he good off the bench? Yes, but we need a strong 11, not a strong player come off the bench. So I wasn't upset with Darwin Núñez. And again, with Darwin Núñez came the whispers of Alexander Isak. I mean, the upgrade between Núñez and Isak's, I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's massive. So I wasn't upset. But I was upset massively with Luis Diaz. Massively upset.
But were you at the time? So, at the time when this window finished and Kwanzaa had gone and Núñez had gone and Luis Diaz had gone and you'd brought in the players that you'd brought in, at the time, and I know it's very difficult to almost remember now because with hindsight, it's so easy to say, don't sign Isak, sign Guehi and Semenyo, everything's so easy. But I know for sure at the time that I was saying Alexander Isak is the best forward in the league.
100%.
You have to sign him. Yeah. He will make this Liverpool front line historic. He will elevate the ambition of the club. This is a transfer window of all transfer windows. It's also a transfer window for 3 windows.
Yeah.
Like, if you sign Isak now, it means that you've got the best striker in the league. You don't need to think about another forward for another 3 or 4 years. You sign Ekitike now, Florian Wirtz now. This is a window for 3 years.
That's what I thought. Maybe even more.
But did you with hindsight now, are you looking back thinking there were mistakes made?
With hindsight, with the benefit
Gahey.
of hindsight. But yeah, Gahey. But at the time, I remember, I think me and you going back and forth on this. Because I remember Konate having a good season last season. Strong, right? It was competing with Saliba and Upamecano to start for France. That's how good I thought Konate was last season alongside Van Dijk. So I think me and you were debating who was better out of Gahey and Konate. And obviously, look, right now, Gahey's clearly better. But at the time, I wasn't like 100% Gahey. So I wasn't thinking we've missed out on a guaranteed starting centre-back. I almost felt like there's going to be a bit of competition between the two. And obviously, look, we bought young Leone, he got injured. We have Joe Gomez, who I know has gone through his injuries, but he's always a good backup. So I actually thought defensively, it weren't as bad as it looked. Obviously, look, Joe Gomez got injured, Leone done his ACL, and Konate's fallen off.
Well, interestingly, you say that. Did you see Virgil van Dijk talking about Ibrahima Konate, saying that they need to sign him up? He called him world class.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can have a dip in form. It doesn't necessarily mean, though, that you now need to leave or you need to be replaced. It could just be a dip. And if Virgil van Dijk is correct, and I think his talent ID of centre-halves is probably to be listened to.
You just wonder, though, and I think if you're a Liverpool fan and you see what happened with Trent, you're just wondering if his head's been turned by the Real Madrid interest or the PSG interest. If those two clubs come for you, especially the PSG one if you're French, then you feel like, okay, what's going on? We've only got 4 months left of his contract. Are you making up your mind?
Yeah, you can't lose money again either.
And we have, obviously now, January window shut, we've lost money. He's either going for free or between now and then, and that's why Virgil van Dijk's, I think, come out publicly and said it, this kid's got to be signed up again.
Yeah.
You've got to sign him for another couple of years, especially now we missed out on Gahey, and we've obviously signed the youngster who is going to take time to kind of bed into the squad. So I wasn't mad at the summer window. I actually thought, like, from a position of strength, having won the league and adding those players, I did say that I felt like we were adding too many to the starting lineup. But I also felt like Kirkes was fantastic at Bournemouth. I know it's different to Liverpool in the way teams sit back. Teams don't really sit back deep with Bournemouth. But I thought Kirkes was a fantastic signing. Frimpong I thought was going to be okay, but I thought him and Conor Bradley could rotate that position. So that was good. I thought Andy Robertson could hold Kirkes' hand. And Wirtz was almost like, I know everyone was excited about Isak, but I thought Wirtz could be the jewel in the crown. I thought we've never really had someone like that to unlock a defence, a midfielder that can maybe go past 3 or 4. Yeah. It's always been pass. So I wasn't mad.
But you see, a lot of what you've said there, I agree with. A lot of what you said makes complete sense in terms of the rationale, but what doesn't make sense is how it's transpired. Like, how have we got to a situation where Liverpool, after 25 games, has less points than David Moyes' Manchester United after 25 games? Like, nothing here. This has got to be one of the most difficult facts of the Premier League to resolve. Arne Slot, a year ago, was undoubtedly one of the best managers in Europe. Yeah. Even still, and I know that I'm a little bit blinkered by this, even still, I will extend a courtesy to Arne Slot simply because he won a league title. Like, he won a league. Yeah. I think in the last decade, the only manager that has won a league title apart from Pep Guardiola in this league is Arne Slot. Yeah. In the last decade, there are 2 title-winning managers, Guardiola and Slot. And yet people now are very angry with him. They're not happy with the direction that he's taken the club. They seem to be. People seem to be saying now that the window was a mistake.
No, it wasn't.
I agree, it wasn't. Things could not work, but it doesn't mean they were wrong at the time.
Yeah, well, I don't think the window was a mistake. I think those players will come good. Look, I'm one, and I think there are many in the camp, that when Alexander Isak gets fit, he's still going to be frightening. I've seen enough of Isak at Newcastle to know that when that guy gets firing, he's going to be one of the best strikers in the league. I think we've seen enough of Ekitike now. And look, it takes a while for a lot of players to get used to we always say the Premier League's the toughest league in the world. But when a player doesn't land in 10 games, they're rubbish. Yeah. It's the hardest league in the world. I thought you can't have it both ways. Bit disappointed in Kirkes. He's getting better. I think we maybe thought the legs had gone of Robertson too quick. Robertson still has something to offer. I think right back's obviously been a massive issue. We played 7 players at right back.
Yeah, and when you explore why, it's the injuries. And I know, look, you can't blame a club for getting injuries. You can't blame a manager when their team are picking up injuries. But this injury woe that is occurring at Liverpool, it needs to stop. And I don't know what the answer is here, and I know it's almost a ridiculous thing to say, but Frimpong, who was brought to replace Trent Alexander-Arnold, like you're looking at 11 Premier League appearances.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And I think the issue in that position isn't necessarily that we're getting so many people injured. For 8 seasons, we had one player in that position. One. And that was Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Frimpong, Bradley, Gomez.
Yeah.
3 right-backs, players that play right-back, are all out. You've got 3 at the club. You've got cover.
Yeah.
You've got 3 at the club, and they're all injured. And you've got Szoboszlai having to play there, and he's then suspended. Like
Endo injured.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's actually gone crazy. Curtis Jones has played there.
Yeah. Leone
well.
injured.
Leone
Alexander Isak, obviously, not quite the same kind of injury. It was a ridiculous tackle that people don't talk about.
I don't care. Terrible. I don't care how good you are. If you don't have a settled back four and the same goalkeeper, I mean, that's what championships are built on, right? That's what we learn. Your Chelsea side, the sides under Fergie, where it's just the back four. Arsenal over the years, the back four. That's why Arsenal is so good now. I mean, they've had their injuries, but it will be, when it's all said and done, you look how many times that back four and goalkeeper played, it'll be more than they haven't. Virgil van Dijk's had 4 or 5 different centre-back partners.
Yeah.
He's looked over to the left and it's been Robertson or Kirkes, whoever. He's looked over to the right and it's been a different right back. He's looked behind him and sometimes it's Mamardashvili. Obviously, Alisson's played a bit more now this season, but Mamardashvili's been there. It's just all over the place. It's crumbling.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Crumbling.
And do you know the other thing, to add weight to that? I was watching your game against City, and I was watching it in the different circumstances. I wasn't live. I was actually just watching it peacefully, and I could hear the commentary, whatever. It was a very different experience. I'm watching the game, and I'm looking at the benches, and I'm thinking, God, that's weak. Yeah. And I'm looking. There's a geezer, Freddie Woodman. Yeah. I barely knew who he was, to be totally honest with you, right? I didn't know who he was. And then you think about how the game goes. What happened in that game, right? Liverpool get beat late. They don't make a substitution till the 85th minute. Curtis Jones comes on, by the way. I think Chiesa comes on really late. Yeah. But 85 minutes, no subs. What happens on the other bench? Ray and Shirky comes on, changes the game.
That's it.
It's the depth.
Yeah,
like,
depth.
Where's the depth?
Yeah, and he's always said one thing about Slot. Exactly, one thing Slot's always said is that he wants the same 13 players. That's all. He's always said that, which is, I think, wrong and incorrect, because the amount of money Liverpool play, you should have a squad of at least 18 where, you know what I mean, there's so many superstars you're chucking on. But again, you go to the injury list. Like, normally at the start of the season, Liverpool would have at some times had Ekitike off the bench. Yeah, Ekitike would have been coming off the bench. Yeah. So Szoboszlai would have been coming off the bench. He had to fight for his place to get into the starting 11.
Absolutely. Yeah.
These players would have been coming off the bench. Now, well, they're not even in a squad, and now Szoboszlai's starting. He's now a star man. But players have dropped off, Rory. As much as I can say injuries, Gravenberch has dropped off. Gravenberch was in the Premier League team of the season last year. He's dropped off massively. Like, massively, to the point now everyone's screaming we need a defensive midfielder, where last season it was genius by Slot to put him in that position. He dropped off. McAllister.
Yeah, that's
completely dropped off. Completely dropped off. And then the biggest one is Salah. Yeah. Like, this time last season, Salah's on, he's on about 20 goals and 15 assists.
He's in line for a Ballon d'Or.
This time last season, he's in line for the Ballon d'Or. Then it obviously drops off a bit towards the end. But he's in line for a Ballon d'Or this time last season. Salah has 6 goals and 7 assists, if we're counting corners as assists nowadays. I think we are.
29 goals in the Premier League last season for Mohamed Salah. 29.
What can you do?
It's a huge
You
return.
add those goals, and look, this isn't about Salah because everyone's had a bad season. You add those goals to where Liverpool are now. Liverpool are probably second.
Yeah.
We're
29 goals in a season where you win the league. It's such a contribution, isn't it? Yeah. It's proper iconic stuff, proper historic stuff. 29 goals.
It's incredible. And he misses Trent. There's no two ways about it. He has no idea of what the right back's going to do. I've watched him with each right back and he has no idea if Frimpong's going to go on the outside. Okay, do I cut in? What's Szoboszlai doing? Because Szoboszlai is not a natural right back. He is second guessing what they're going to do.
Perhaps.
With Trent, he knew though, as soon as that ball came to Trent, he's gone. He knows what to do.
I feel what you've done there, whilst it's true,
I defended him too much.
It's a bit kind, yeah. Because what I'm about to say has nothing to do with everything you've said is true.
Go on.
But I saw a moment. There's a player that I've been lambasting this whole season. I think that he's basically done. Kieran Trippier. I saw Mohamed Salah lose you saw it?
So it is the foot race of him.
Kieran Trippier. Yeah, Kieran Trippier in 2026 shouldn't be beating anyone to the ball. He certainly shouldn't be beating Mohamed Salah like Mohamed Salah 6 years ago wins that race and Kieran Trippier doesn't even start running.
You know what's interesting with Salah, since he's come back from AFCON, obviously, look, he had the bust up and he played a game before AFCON. I think it was Brighton. Since AFCON, I've noticed that he's now running back.
Yeah.
And he's never done that. And it's almost like he's had this agreement of, okay, I will do some defensive work. That's taken out of him doing stuff offensively.
But this diamond shape...
He actually can't go forward anymore because Salah can't do that.
No.
He can't do that. Like everyone that played in the Klopp era, a bit like Bernardo Silva in that Man City era, your legs have gone because you've almost given too much.
Yeah.
Like Klopp and Pep.
Yeah. We look at them.
That.
We go, they're only 31, and you're like, yeah, they're 31, but they've got 200,000 miles on the clock.
We say the same thing about Sterling.
Yeah.
Like those two clubs literally pushed their players to the absolute limit.
But this time last year, which isn't that long ago, like 300 days, 300 days ago, Mohamed Salah, we would have easily argued is worthy of the Ballon d'Or that season. 300 days.
Is there an argument for him as well? And I want to stick up for Salah just because, I mean, you're probably talking about Liverpool's greatest ever Premier League player. That sounds probably
second
it's probably,
best, but a different conversation.
I think Gerrard was saying something about him being the greatest Premier League footballer the other day.
I disregard what footballers say here.
Because they would never back themselves.
Gary Neville has basically ruined it. Yeah. Gary Neville's self-deprecation is absolutely ludicrous. Like if you listen to Gary Neville talk about how he played football,
you'd think he was playing Championship.
Mate,
yeah.
you would.
He mocks himself.
Yeah. You would compare him to I'm trying to think that the level of football that he puts himself at. It isn't even like a Steve Clarke. It isn't even like a Leighton Baines. Yeah. He puts himself way lower, and you're like, wait, what are you talking about? You're
it's
one of
interesting
the best.
Actually, because every time Carragher talks, and people try and post clips of Carragher making mistakes, I always try and back Carragher. Like, do you know how good Carragher was as a defender, centre back?
Carragher's got the record appearance for Liverpool.
Do you know how good you have to
be, especially as a local lad?
Mate,
no,
crazy.
Look, we don't need to do this, but the point that we're making is a player's opinion doesn't actually necessarily mean it's true.
You're right.
It's like when Wayne Rooney will say that Harry Kane was better than him.
Not having it.
I think it's true.
Yeah, every time he says that, it really annoys me. But again, with Salah, it's always been about sort of link-up play. He does a lot individually. He can be greedy, but he's always used to players around him that know what runs he's going to make. He knows what they're going to make. It's different forward. It's a different wide player. Wirtz is nothing like he's seen before because Salah drifts into that same area as well. I feel like all the best Salah we saw was that front three with Mane and Firmino, where it was like literally, I know exactly what these guys are going to do. They know what I'm going to do. I think Salah's looking around and he genuinely doesn't know what anyone else is going to do.
But how much of Liverpool's terrible season, terrible defence of their title, do you put at Salah's door? Like Salah, not only his performances, but the conversation that you had with the media after Leeds.
Are we talking a percentage?
Yeah, go on.
High?
Really?
High? 20-25%? Yes. He's the highest paid player at the club.
Yeah.
He is.
He's meant to be the best player.
Yeah, Liverpool have, in terms of outfield, undoubtedly two genuine world-class players.
Yeah.
That no one would ever say they're not. The others are debatable.
Yeah.
Right? I can say Gravenberch, you can say no, and I'm like, okay, fair.
Yeah.
Van Dijk and Salah.
Yeah, agreed.
When if you're that guy and you are that guy and you're screaming to get your new wage and contract. He doesn't do interviews. He done interview, got his contract. You've got to provide.
Yeah.
You've got to be that guy. You've got to be. You can't get the new contract and then go like that.
Yeah.
And then, as you say, what he did in the interviews, he's got to be held accountable. And I'm only doing that because he's one of the most experienced.
Yeah, you expect the
he's
best.
A senior player.
Do you think he still starts for Liverpool? Like let's say something magic happens.
No, he does.
In Liverpool's best team, everyone fit.
Yeah.
He's still in.
He's still the man.
Yeah,
and the reason he's still the man, and I've watched him since he's come back, and even though he still isn't the most Salah of the last 7 or 8 years, defenders still look at him like he is. And by default, 2 go to him, and it leaves spaces for Wirtz and for Ekitike. Like if it was Frimpong, say Frimpong was fit, and he's done a good job out on that right wing, only one player goes out to Frimpong.
Yeah.
Because it was like Frimpong.
Yeah.
Salah always still gets double marked, and he still always is a threat. You still feel like Salah could still do a bit of magic. And I'm not going to just think that.
If Liverpool are playing in Budapest in the Champions League final, if you're playing in that final against Chelsea, I don't want to see Salah anywhere near the pitch.
Exactly.
And that tells you all you need to know.
Really. And that's still Salah for me. And look, we're hoping it's going to turn. I don't know. You do wonder where his head's at. You do wonder if maybe this is his last season. Maybe he's seeing that the keys of the kingdom are being given to Wirtz and Ekitike. And that's a difficult thing to do, right? It's almost like you've been the guy for 8 years.
Yeah.
You've been the man. Everything's been about you. You walk to the stadium, you see all the kids with the shirts on, they all say Salah for 8 years. All of a sudden you're driving and you don't see that many Salah shirts anymore. You see Wirtz and Ekitike and Isak. that must be difficult to take. So he's having to go through that. And Jota was his best friend.
Yeah.
At that club, him and Jota were like that. Like you couldn't get closer teammates.
Really? I didn't know that. What,
they were
really?
like that. He's lost his best mate in the club. Obviously, it was Firmino was his closest, but Jota obviously once Firmino left.
It's not a topic that is ever really discussed at length, but let's just do it. The tragic passing of Diogo Jota. I sometimes think that people don't really want to hear about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes people think
It's an excuse.
you have to get on with
Yeah.
But it is harrowing.
Mate, it's massively harrowing for the club. Like immensely. Like he seemed to be, and look, we don't know, do we? Because ultimately we only see these footballers change a lot. We only see these players on the pitch once a week for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So we don't really know the relationships. They kind of give you a peek behind the curtains when they kind of do little stuff.
Andy Robertson in the aftermath was
see that. I think he did something when he was playing for the Scotland team and spoke about it as well.
Yeah.
But I always go for players that
Cheltenham.
there you go. I always go for players that are not at the club anymore. And Kevin Kelleher, obviously at Brentford, I think someone asked him about it, and he said, "I can't believe we're even talking about Liverpool this season." He almost like threw it away, like whatever they do, they do.
Really?
Yeah, and obviously he was around there. He got sold in the summer, didn't he? So he's almost as if he's saying,
Forget it.
Yeah, forget it. Like, what these players have
some
gone
things
through.
are bigger than football.
You know, there's almost two things with Jota. One thing, obviously, with what happened, I mean, just how difficult that is for a club and the players. So I'm not even talking about his footballing brilliance. And then you add the footballing side of it as well. Like Jota was like Jamie Carragher said, he was the best finisher at Liverpool.
Yeah.
So exactly. So Liverpool have lost both of those things.
Yeah. It's the emotion.
It's the emotion.
It's the immeasurable emotion.
When you kind of sit back and try and get rid of the emotion, or try and at least sort of calm the emotion, then you think he was a fantastic footballer for Liverpool.
And it was in the same summer, in an attacking sense. Like, I always rated Harvey Elliott. I know that hasn't aged well, but I always rated Harvey Elliott. So you go, Harvey Elliott's gone.
Yeah.
Núñez, Diaz, Elliott, Jota,
It's a lot.
all unavailable in a goal-scoring capacity.
It's a lot. There's too many changes. Like I've always, growing up, always used to like watch the Fergie sides, like who just felt like they won a league every single season. It was always only two changes. It always felt like there was only one or two big ones. Do you know what I mean? I remember when Andre Kanchelskis went because they knew Beckham was coming. Yeah, it was always one or two big ones. It was never 5 or 6. And you just mentioned 4 forwards, 3 of whom were really starters and 1 in Harvey Elliott that got the minutes. I think there's almost too many to change. And I just don't think you do that. And then you change in the right back and you change in the left back.
Yeah.
Again, that's what I said. It's like 5 or 6
It's just too much.
of the 11.
Yeah.
It's too much.
And it didn't need it. You didn't need this overhaul.
No,
like, do you know,
we won the league.
We
won the league and we got beat in the Champions League by the eventual winners.
Do you know what? I think Arne Slot said something where he referred to Liverpool. He referred to Liverpool as, at one point, in transition. I was like, wait, you're champions. You're not in transition. Like, a transitional season is not... I mean, I suppose it can be, but it's very rare that you're champions and then it's a transitional season.
Yeah, because everyone always felt, and I think this is wrong ultimately, because Klopp didn't win didn't win the league with the team that Slot had, but it always felt like it was. Everyone kept saying it was Klopp's team. Like, this is Klopp's team, and he's almost just not making too many changes. Gakpo was a change, and Gravenberch was one, but that was really it. I felt he meant transition in terms of, okay, now this is my team.
Yeah,
I'm going to be given $500 million to do my team. This is what
true,
I want. So I think that's what he means by transition. And as you say, we lost those forwards, but we also lost the most influential right back we've seen in the league maybe ever. Like maybe ever.
Yeah, true. Most influential,
Most influential, not best, most influential. So I think he meant that as a transition.
Yeah. But it's interesting, isn't it? Because the language that he used there, and you're probably right, but he needed to say that. And he didn't. And I feel like he's... Yeah, I do as well.
He said a lot of things wrong. I think...
He said everything right last year. That's the weirdest thing.
Because you're winning.
Yeah, but maybe he didn't say everything right.
Maybe he didn't, but how many times did we point it out? Because ultimately you're winning. I remember when Carragher had a go at him at the start of the season about you feel like you're really open.
Yeah.
And I think we had won that game at Carragher said it. So it's almost like that almost got shooed to the side.
Yeah, because you won.
We won. What are you talking about, Carragher? And Slot kind of laughed him off.
There were various games where Arne Slot won the game. Like, I remember, there'd be a tweak and then another tweak and another tweak of shape and system and personnel, and the manager was winning games of football. He was also conducting himself in the press in quite an intelligent way. I feel like this year, so many mistakes. The way that he's speaking in the in the press, the way that he's approaching interviews, the way that he is handling big situations.
I think
there's mistakes being made.
I think it started the back end of last season. And I think everyone looks at this Liverpool run and everyone equates it to the start of the season. It actually started the back end of last season, but we were so far in front, the results necessarily didn't matter.
Yeah.
I think once he started getting questions and queries about the contracts of Van Dijk, Salah and Trent, I almost felt like it became a bit difficult then. And it would be. Your three big stars have all got issues. And then obviously what happened in the summer. And I felt like it's all just been a bit too much for him. It's not like he's had one big issue to deal with all the time, whether it be injuries, whether it be player contracts. This issue of Salah this season's been massive for him. It's been him versus Salah. I mean, that's a difficult battle.
Yeah, it's not a fight you want either, is it? No, it's not a fight you want to pick, no.
Not at all. So, and then we're losing games. Yeah. And we're conceding late goals.
But where has the genius gone? Like I maintain that it was genius. I got quite a lot of stick at it. I said that what Arne Slot did in his first year, off the back of coming in, following Jurgen Klopp, coming in to face a 4-time league winner, Pep Guardiola, coming into face a Mikel Arteta team that had fell second and was really moving in the right direction. He came into a team, no transfer window, signed one player, Chiesa, and won the league at a canter. I argued that was a better achievement than anything that Jurgen Klopp had achieved. And people don't like it, but
I disagree.
But it's an amazing title
Klopp
win.
Built that team. Like, I think of the team that
he
Klopp
didn't.
inherited.
Think about what he did. Think about what he
team.
did to Gravenberch. He took Gravenberch from a player that was massively on the periphery of Liverpool, massively on the periphery of Bayern Munich, and turned him into one of the best players in the world.
Who bought that player?
Pardon?
Who bought that player?
But he wasn't playing very well for Liverpool.
Very true.
He was bought by Klopp, but he wasn't. He was on the periphery of the club. I don't think any Liverpool fan would have shed any tears if Gravenberch was sold.
No, you're right. We saw the talent, but you're right. We didn't. A bit like Curtis Jones now. I'm like, what's his best position?
And Liverpool over the years had missed out on Caicedo, missed out on Lavia for various reasons. Missed out on Caicedo, missed out on Lavia, missed out on Jude Bellingham. There were a lot of central midfielders that Liverpool were eyeing up, and for various reasons.
Zubimendi.
He was going.
Couldn't get him.
And all that. He was going. And for various reasons, Liverpool missed out on their targets. The manager in that situation, his responsibility is to coach his way out of the problem.
And he did.
And my God, did he do it?
You know, the one benefit that Slot had, which he doesn't have now, is that he came to the league, and it's been as how many people watch these teams in the Eredivisie? Not many. He almost came into the league and no one knew anything about him. He was trying new things, and you will get worked out very quickly in this league. Yeah. As much as we say the quality of the teams and the managers have fallen down over the years in the Premier League, still very, very high quality. If you don't change it up a little bit, you get found out. All of a sudden, people are looking at Gravenberch, and now they're onto Gravenberch. They weren't onto him last season. Now people are onto the fact that Liverpool like to play at the back and they can push Liverpool back. They weren't onto us last season because it was all new. Everything was all new and shiny. You've got to mix it up a little bit. And he's almost just stuck to the same rigid way of doing things. And you're like, we're almost being found out by certain teams.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
There's no bite in Liverpool's side.
There's no bite. And do you know where that's really apparent? It's the home form. Like Anfield, it should be a fortress. It should be like, you know, this is Anfield. Yeah. That should both inspire and terrify in equal measure, right? If you're in a red shirt, it should inspire you. If you're in a blue shirt, it should terrify you. Yeah. And it's getting to the stage now where anyone who, you know, when I do like a prediction show or I talk about where I do my whatever, I'm basically looking at Liverpool Anfield and I'm thinking anyone can win there. Because like Forest won there this year, didn't they? Manchester United under Amorim won there this year. And then you think all of the promoted teams have picked up points at Anfield.
Yep.
Even the teams that you've ultimately beaten. I don't know, Brighton played well.
Yeah.
PSV was that?
Yeah. There's no bite. There's no bite, and I mean, again, we go back to the players that left the club, and look, whether or not we thought they were good players, had a bit of bite about them, bit of nastiness. Diaz had a bit of bite about him. That South American kind of ending. Darwin Núñez certainly had it. Remember early in his career, went overboard with it, but has a bit of bite about him. You do look at our midfield now, and look, it's a midfield that won the league last season, so I need to be careful. But you look at it, and it looks like a soft underbelly. Like, who's the person that puts a bit of a naughty tackle in? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you look at the players: McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Wirtz. Yeah,
Curtis Jones. It's become Szoboszlai, hasn't it? I like Curtis Jones. I think he's a really good player, I think Curtis Jones should be starting for Liverpool. I think in his anchoring midfield position.
It's Gravenberch.
I think you need more from Gravenberch in a box-to-box capacity.
Yeah, Gerrard says something interesting about him. Sorry, it wasn't Gerrard, apologies. Joe Cole said something interesting about Gravenberch. And I think Joe Cole's a bit like that as well, where do you play Joe Cole? He used to play on the left for Chelsea, he used to play number 10. And he looks at Curtis Jones, and I think he sees something similar in himself, like he's almost lost.
Yeah.
There is no position
just
for him.
Just a really tidy footballer.
Just a tidy footballer that maybe right now what Liverpool are going through isn't the right option. But I do like Curtis Jones as well. I just feel like there's an imbalance to this whole Liverpool side. A complete imbalance.
Have you thought about what happens after Slot? Or if Slot will resurrect himself within Liverpool? Have you thought about what happens next? Do you think Slot sees the season out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do as well.
Yeah. I mean, they did that round table, didn't they? The buying
He made
committee.
a pig's ear of that.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. But that was almost telling us he's staying.
Yeah, but he made a pig's ear of it.
But
talking about like the style of play over silverware.
He's done so much of that recently. Like again, he said things that kind of make me scratch my head. And you're right. You want to give him credit. And he said a few things that almost hurt me, but they're home truths. Liverpool have only won 2 league titles in 32 years. He's one of them.
No, in that.
So he's got a bit of credit.
I thought he was correct.
A bit of power.
Yeah.
But sometimes he's been saying things. You're like, what are you talking about?
I mean
we don't like throw-ins. Okay, everyone's going to throw the ball in.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff.
When he acknowledged when just before they were playing Brentford.
What did Brentford
he went,
do?
We don't like set pieces.
And Brentford
lovely.
Okay,
set piece coach as manager
straight away. Yeah.
But you think he sees the season out? Do you think he's the Liverpool manager at the start of the new season? Okay, let me ask you a better question, because obviously that will depend basically on what happens in Budapest. I think that's basically what it will go. I think Slot even said that only the Champions League will do for him off the back of the season that they've had.
Yeah.
He's even said that. He's called it the hardest season of his life, and he said only the Champions League will make this palatable. So I'll ask you a better question rather than because he'll be the manager if they win that, obviously.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
So if he isn't the manager, have you got any idea who you'd want to be the new Liverpool manager? Because it feels to me, looking from the outside in, there is just like the most obvious answer to this, which isn't good news for Slot, when there's just like an heir to the throne waiting in the wings.
That's the issue, isn't it? When there's an heir to the throne and he is jobless at the moment, and
he was a distraction when he was employed by the biggest club in the world.
And everyone's like, posting photos of him in Liverpool. We're talking about obviously about Xavi Alonso. It's always going to be difficult. There's a connection to the club that Slot obviously never had. He's won us the Champions League. I mean, he was like, if Liverpool have an all-time Premier League 11, he's probably there. That's how important he's been to the club. I'm quite childish in the sense that we wanted him before and he chose to go Madrid. And now he's been sacked from Madrid. He's come to us. Yeah. But obviously, look, is he a better manager than Arne Slot? I don't know.
No.
But
it's not only about that. It's about is he a better Liverpool manager than Arne Slot? Yes. Is he a better fit for Liverpool?
And if we're giving the keys to the kingdom, I'm talking about playing squad here, to Florian Wirtz, who got the best out of Florian Wirtz?
Yeah.
It was that man. Like him and Florian Wirtz at Bayer Leverkusen were just like unstoppable as a combination, like unstoppable. They were just insane. He knows what the fans want in terms of the passion. So it just makes sense. It makes sense to give him an opportunity, especially if the season continues the way it is for Liverpool, where it feels like you win one, you lose one, you win one, you lose one, you win one, you lose one. Like I have no confidence that Slot can turn this around and Liverpool go on a 7-game winning streak. No confidence whatsoever. I watched Liverpool,
but equally, mate, from the outside looking in, it's funny, isn't it? So you say that.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else waiting in the wings? Like, is there anybody else that it could potentially be?
I mean, look, there are. It's funny because everyone thinks there's a lack of top-tier managers, and I don't agree. There are some heavy hitters out there. Luis Enrique, look, I mean, this is just in. No,
but if Luis Enrique were to leave Paris Saint-Germain, there's no reason that Liverpool aren't.
Liverpool should be right up there. I don't think Carlo Ancelotti is going to come back and manage club football, but I think Carlo Ancelotti is a good short-term fix, a year, 2 years, until someone else sort of graduates, if you like. I know we've digged him a lot. I've always been a big fan, and you're just going to laugh, and I don't think he will be Liverpool manager. But there was a time when I was like, Andoni Iraola is fantastic.
No, but it's gone.
He isn't. It's gone.
Iraola and Glasner this season.
No, Glasner's gone. Glasner's gone.
Yeah.
You know why I keep pointing to Andoni Iraola? I don't know what maybe it's the Vincent Kompany Burnley thing, where I'm like, I can see that you know what to do, but you don't have the quality players to do it.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen what Vincent Kompany's done with Bayern Munich. And then like this Dreamland, and you would understand the passion of this one. It's Jurgen Klopp. And the reason I say you, because Jose Mourinho is your Jurgen Klopp, right? In terms of just that passion and energy. And when he came round second time to Chelsea, obviously it wasn't as Dreamland as the first one.
No, he won the league and the League Cup in the same season.
And I'm thinking, he's out there, he's not managing someone. Like, no one understands it better. Do you know how much I miss those fist pumps?
Yeah.
Even when we lose, I still believe he's going to somehow sort it out.
What Liverpool had under Klopp was a real identity. They were different. They believed in something. They were representative of something. They were the tonic to that possession for possession's sake. They were the tonic to that tiki-taka Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, literally. We were the complete opposite,
Liverpool,
the antithesis of it.
Yeah, Liverpool had an energy about them.
Yeah,
that
I don't
heavy
know
metal football
what we
existed.
are now. Like, I watch us week in, week out, and aside from a bit of individual brilliance, it could be a Florian Wirtz pass or Szoboszlai 40-yard free kick. I have no idea what this Liverpool side is anymore, and that's what scares me as a Liverpool fan. I'm like, what are we trying to do?
Yeah.
And I don't see it. I can't see it.
Yeah. Do you agree with Arne Slot about Budapest? He's basically said it's Budapest or bust. Win the Champions League or it's over.
If he says it, then I'm agreeing with him. If he says it, I'm agreeing with him. Liverpool are a team that, if the second leg's at Anfield, good luck to anyone. Regardless of the fact that we have wobbled. I think we've seen it in the Champions League games, apart from the PSV one, that this Liverpool team in the Champions League is a force. We've got players in the team, and this is obviously very important, that have won it. They've experienced going into finals, they've experienced going deep into the competition. We can win the Champions League. There's no doubt about it. But I'm surprised he said that, because we are very slim outsiders to win it. So he's putting a lot of pressure on himself, but maybe he's trying to rally the troops. Yeah. Maybe that's his way, because he's not the screaming down the touchline type manager. And maybe that's his way of saying to the guys, look, the league's gone. This is it. This is what counts. And
do you know what I did think? I saw this. It's an interesting way of doing it. The average position of the teams that Liverpool play left to play in the league, the average position of all of the teams that they have to play, it's low. It's 11th.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter for Liverpool, because we're not beating those teams that are low, are we? Like, we're just not. When, like you know, hard.
No,
Sunderland,
so many.
hard Sunderland.
Yeah, but look at your fixtures. The vast majority of them are teams in the bottom half of the table. Yeah. That in itself is good news for Liverpool. I think it's just going to come down to.
It's good news if those teams, and what we've only got just over 10 games to go, 10, 11 games. It's good news if those teams have nothing to play for.
Yeah, but they're going to be fighting for survival.
Yeah, but there's a few of them that are fighting, because that bottom relegation
it's gone mad.
Now, it's gone a bit crazy.
Yeah.
So if we're fighting teams that are nothing to play for, like if you're playing, I don't know, who's in the middle of the run team?
Like you're going to be playing like Forest, Wolves, West Ham. In fact, you play them all in a row.
No, mate.
It goes Forest, West Ham, Wolves. Yeah. But equally, you should be beating them.
We should be.
It's going to come down to fitness, isn't it? It's going to come down to, like, Alexander Isak is going to be back this season.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to, can you get players back and playing well? That's basically what it's going to be. Because in Europe, there is absolutely no doubt that Liverpool are capable of winning the European Cup. Like, that is the least controversial thing. It doesn't matter how bad their season is going. Doesn't matter how poorly they're playing. Doesn't matter about any kind of ructions in the camp. Liverpool are capable of winning the European Cup.
You know what it comes down to? That, obviously, you're right, but for me, it comes down to, and it's going to sound crazy considering the amount of money we spent on the forward line. Against Sunderland, we ended the game. It was Joe Gomez at right back. It was Robertson at left back. It was Konate. It was Van Dijk. It was Alisson. If that can be the five, I just feel like I feel like there's experience, there's composure, there's a know-how to get through the games. That five, if that five can stay fit, and this isn't disrespecting Kirkus, who's gone a lot better this season, but I need that experience at the back.
Yeah.
And then the forward line will kind of do what the forward line needs to do. The defence needs to be
solid. You need to Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal. Make sure that back line is sweet, and then hope for the best after that.
Yeah, because apart from the Gabriel-Saliba partnership, Konate and Van Dijk, I mean, it should be right there as the second best partnership. It should be. It isn't right now, obviously, but it should be. If they can stay fit, and Van Dijk always stays fit, Konate's had his issues, then it's not that bad. And I still think we've got the best goalkeeper in the league. I genuinely do believe that.
Yeah, you don't have that anymore. But it doesn't matter.
What am I saying? Who is then?
I don't think you have the second best either. I think David Raya and Donnarumma.
No, I haven't.
But yeah, do you think anybody at Liverpool will be worried about Man City, like, if Guardiola were to leave, there's suddenly then a scramble for top tier managers. So I think Man City have already openly admitted that Xabi Alonso, alongside Enzo Maresca and Cesc Fabregas, are all on the short list for the Man City job. Could there be almost a rush from Liverpool to appoint Xabi Alonso, not only because they think he's the right man for the job, but because they are in a race and they need to get to him before anyone else does?
It's a good shout. It's a good shout, but I don't think we can operate like that. It's almost, again, it comes back to, and I mean, again, we're talking a 1 in 10 chance, but it comes down to the Champions League. If it wasn't for that, say we're having this conversation, Liverpool at the Champions League, I'd say, yeah, pull that trigger now, get Xabi Alonso. But Arne Slot does have a chance. He has a chance of winning that trophy, and he has a chance to win the trophy because he won a big trophy last season. The only thing with Man City is that obviously they've taken 2 of our targets this season, so there will be a bit of like, don't let him do it again. Gahey was supposed.
Gahey was in a. He was having a medical.
He had a medical, literally
in the tunnel.
There will be someone has got a picture of him with a Liverpool top, and I know it exists.
He was definitely, when they have that thing.
Yeah.
The scan.
Yeah.
He was having that at Liverpool.
He was doing that, and we were very much linked to Semenyo as well. So there'll be a lot of Liverpool fans that'll be a bit nervous that Man City could go in and just go bang. But you'd like to think that already, and I know that no one's going to admit this, but already there's been a conversation between someone and Xabi Alonso.
Yeah.
There would have been a feeler being put out. There will be something. And if it is just a straight shootout between us and City for Xabi Alonso, you'd like to think with the history that Xabi Alonso would almost most certainly go to Liverpool.
So what we're concluding though, it started brilliantly in terms of the summer off the back of being champions, and then those first 5 wins of the season. It's gone unpredictably bad, and there has been like almost a disaster, almost a crisis. But it all feels incredibly recoverable. Qualify for the Champions League, finish in the top 5.
No, that's not recoverable.
Win the Champions League.
Okay, that adds a little
and the FA Cup, we haven't,
to it.
there's not too much to say about the FA Cup, but you can still end up with an FA Cup.
I almost feel like you're putting a plaster over a big stab wound. Like
not a European Cup shaped plaster though. That's not plaster. That's a history.
Yeah, but I think your bread and butter's always the league. Your bread and
unless you win the European Cup, mate.
Unless you're right. But the bread and butter has to be the league. I mean, you sacked a manager who won a European Cup.
Yeah, but you.
Not trying to say that.
That's incorrectly though.
Yeah, you're right. Incorrectly. I feel that the bread and butter has to be the league. Liverpool shouldn't be this many points behind Arsenal, having spent $500 million. And I've been on this, and we've been speaking for a while now, and I'm trying to find excuses as to reasons. But ultimately, a side that wins the league last season, spends $500 million, shouldn't be this far behind. Especially for a club that doesn't kind of spend that money. That we don't buy best in class, we make best in class. So that regardless of what happens, I do think there will always be conversations about his future in the summer, even if he were to win the Champions League.
If the Champions League starts going really well, quarterfinals, semi-finals, do you just almost sack off the league?
Yeah,
cool.
100%. Yeah. Everyone gets rested.
Yeah, like everyone at Tottenham.
Yeah, literally, the kids play. I don't know how many kids are registered to play in the Premier League, but all the kids play.
You can do it.
In Liverpool, we've got European type footballers,
and you are European heritage as a club.
European, like Gakpo's awful in the league.
Yeah.
Gakpo in Europe's a different player.
Yeah,
like Gravenberch will do his little
worst
pirouettes.
Liverpool teams than this one have won it.
Absolutely, I mean,
also,
Jimmy Traore and Igor Bishkan have Champions League medals. Vladimir Šmička.
Also, the other thing I always think, right? When you just think about like Liverpool's ability in this competition. I know they've lost a couple of finals, right? But when I was a kid, I remember I didn't understand it. But I remember Robbie Fowler at Old Trafford going like that, 4-2.
Yeah.
And the score wasn't 4-2. And I remember saying to my stepdad, I was like, why is he doing 4-2? And he's like, he's having a pop at the Man United fans because of the European Cup. I'm not that old, right? And Liverpool only had 4.
Yeah.
Look at the record since. Yeah. Bearing in mind, they've lost a couple of finals as well.
Finals, mate. Lost a couple of big semi-finals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I remember Fernando Torres, now you're saying that, doing the 5 as well to United. It's a trophy that we do well in. My only issue is every time we draw Real Madrid, we draw someone with more stature than us.
They've got the stature.
And no matter what, if we're playing anyone else apart from Real Madrid, I'm like, we've got a chance.
Because AC Milan have got very almost identical, in fact. But you're a better team than them.
We're a better team.
So it is only Real Madrid that have that over you.
They're
like even Barcelona are minnows compared to you.
Yeah, even Bayern Munich, the great Bayern Munich. I think, okay, we've got a chance. It's Real Madrid.
Yeah, I agree. So what's our conclusions here? Is it after all of that? We basically don't know, do we? Because it's all going to come down to what happens in Europe.
No one really knows with Slot. It felt like there was a period a few weeks ago where we had a horrendous run, horrendous, and you felt like he's going to go then. And it reminds me a bit of Ten Hag. I remember Man United, and I think he went to Everton. You think he's going to lose, and all of a sudden, I think Garnacho scored no red kick, and he keeps his job for a little longer. Every time you think Slot's on the edge of the cliff, somehow he gets a result. I think you almost have to forgive him for what's happened at right back. You have to forgive him for the most expensive signing Liverpool have ever done, being injured after scoring a good goal against Spurs as well. So I want to see him with his best 11, and then we can make judgment on him. And hopefully, before the end of the season, we will see that best 11 back. I do think we are going to see Frimpong back we will see Frimpong back. You mentioned we'll see Isak back, and then we'll see. There's obviously a Salah conversation. I think Liverpool fans are scared to have a Van Dijk conversation. I'm not trying to say in terms of form, age. I'm almost scared to think, can he play until 40? Because do you know what I mean? The fact is, Van Dijk's 34.
Yeah.
And everyone kind of stops right now, don't they? You're no longer the best at 34. So there are a few worrying things on the horizon. But for now, I think we stay put and we wait and see.
Yeah. If you boil it down to one thing, like the one problem. So we've discussed a lot. We've discussed injuries, transfer window, wrong transfer strategy, players leaving the club, players arriving at the club, the wrong players arriving at the club, bad tactics, bad conduct in the... Like, we've discussed everything. What is it?
Slot.
Is it as simple as injury? Slot.
No, Slot. I'd be
inclined to say
if we're going to boil it down to one thing...
I just think if Alexander Isak doesn't have his leg broken terribly by Van der Ven...
We were awful before then.
Yeah, but
we were awful before then. We're awful. I look at what Slot's done this season. I think he's got quite a few things wrong.
Yeah, I do as well.
I think he's got quite a few things wrong. Even the way in which, like, he's basically tried to push out Robbo for Kirkes. I think he's kind of done that wrong as well.
Yeah.
There's a way in which to kind of slowly integrate a player into the squad without kind of really irking the experienced players that are in the squad. I just feel like he's got a lot wrong this season. And maybe there's a bit of arrogance. I won the league last season. I know what I'm doing. No, you don't. Not right now, you don't. You've done quite a bit wrong. And even in the first 5 games where we won, Newcastle were down to 10 men. Do you remember that game?
Yeah.
We needed a 16-year-old to save us right at the end. Yeah. Like, a lot of those games early were nip and tuck, and it's almost like that good luck we had then switched to bad luck, a bit of karma.
Yeah.
Like, you had a bit of good luck, we're going to give you a bit of bad luck now. We've it's been a mess since the start of the season.
Yeah, fascinating stuff. I've enjoyed that, Eddie.
Same.
Thank you very much.
Thank
and thank
you
to everyone who has joined us. We really do appreciate it. It's a new strand that we're working on here. So, as I mentioned at the beginning, please let us know if you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a like. Let us know in the comments. And if you really enjoyed it, why not give it some hype points as well? As always, make sure that you click the link in the description below. You will find there a link to the Oladipo YouTube channel. Brilliant content. So make sure that you go and check it out. And yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comment section. We'll both be in there the second this video goes live. Ta-da!